Hi, how's everybody doing today? My name is Steven Rosenberg. This is Ginzburg, and welcome to Marketing Success in Under 10 Minutes, where we deliver you guys valuable information and content on how to market your business. Gene, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing really well, thanks. How about yourself, Steven? How's your day been?
My day has been excellent so far, and I'm really excited because this episode we get to talk about something that I do a lot that we don't necessarily talk about on this show. And what I wanted to talk about is sustainability and how to incorporate that in your business, and then how to utilize that to market your business. What are your sort of general thoughts on sustainability or recycling? Do you like when I say that, what comes to your mind?
For me personally, I am a big proponent of recycling, and every time I have the opportunity to do that, I always recycle. So whether it's glass or aluminum or paper, I actually have become completely green as part of my business. I do not use any paper at all. People are always like, hey, I'm like, I don't know. I don't use pen and paper anymore. Like, I don't even know what that is. I haven't bought paper in years at this point, probably the last at least couple of years. I don't print anything out ever, except like if I have to maybe go on an airplane and I have to print out a boarding pass, although I've stopped doing that as well.
Yeah, now you have your cell phones.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, that was an interesting question. So I'm part of this, I know that's kind of a bit of a side note, but we'll get into the recycling in just a second. So I'm part of an entrepreneur group, and every month they have these like questions that they ask that you can get published in publications if you answer the questions. And they're pretty like short, maybe like two or three sentences. So one of the questions was, in our society, we're trying to stay green as a business. If you were to print one piece of paper, what would it be? And I thought, and my response to that was, if I had to print one piece of paper, it would be my goals. So like I have quarterly, yearly, 3-year and 10-year goals that I look at every month to make sure that I'm staying on track. And I was like, well, I'd probably print that one out if I had to. But anyway, that's my initial thoughts on sustainability.
Yeah, so what I wanted to do is just talk about a simple thing that any business can try, and just sort of explain why it would be valuable for them to do that from a marketing perspective. So if you basically reverse engineer, and we'll say, I'm just going to go tactical and say April's coming up, Earth Day's coming up, or November, National Recycling Day. From a social media and marketing standpoint, if you wanted to start recycling in your business, what that does for you, and the incentive you should, is because it can actually save you money. So you pay monthly costs for your garbage to have that taken away, but if you can reduce that, let's say by half, that's a big deal. Now, maybe that's not a big deal for you or me or anyone personally, but as a business, when you have a huge office where you're printing tons of stuff, or have a lot of waste in your day-to-day operations, that can be a huge cost-saving factor. And so I would definitely encourage businesses to do that, because then what you can do is document that journey of what it takes to have your business go from not recycling and throwing everything away to recycling as much as possible. And then you can utilize that content to start to market yourself on social media. I mean, people really do want to see companies that are more sustainable, that really care about the environment. And if you can get a bonus where you actually save money and make yourself look good, it's kind of a win-win situation for companies to do such a simple thing like recycling. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. So is that what you do as part of your business, is you help streamline that process for companies and for clients?
Exactly. Yeah, so I definitely have helped a lot of businesses in streamlining their efforts in doing that. I mean, we do a lot more stuff than just kind of that piece of the puzzle. We also do a lot of social media and help them with a marketing plan revolving around their green initiatives. But we also go into big manufacturing facilities and help them to reduce their costs. And then we'll actually show them how to sell those materials. So instead of throwing paper away, not only do you recycle it, but then we show them how to make money recycling it. Because when you're talking about big companies that generate hundreds of millions of pounds of waste and recycling every year, that adds up very quickly.
Yeah, I bet yes, I'm a small business, so obviously it's small impact, but yeah, I'm sure for large corporations that have hundreds, maybe, thousands, hundreds of, tens of thousands of people that work there, I'm sure that of course, makes a big impact.
Well, also in the digital marketing arena, I mean, don't you see that as a trend where more and more companies are not only just recycling or being more green and sustainable, but they're starting to push that from a marketing perspective? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I'm starting to see that. Well, it just makes things so much, like, that's really the whole part of the idea of digital marketing, is that, like, you don't need to use paper. It's all online.
right.
So there's no need for it. Like, I don't know. I used to work at a law firm when I first got out of college, and like the amount of paper that they went through was just absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And they were a pretty small law firm. Like, maybe they had, like, I don't know, 15 attorneys or something, or 20 attorneys. But imagine, like, attorneys, like, law firms with like hundreds of attorneys.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's you can go on and on. I just think from a digital marketing standpoint, it would be a really good project to do some really simple steps in your day-to-day operations, document that process, and then be able to share that process and show your customers that you do care, that you are making efforts, that you are being more sustainable as a company, and seeing how people react to that. I mean, I think you also open yourself up to a whole other demographic of people. I mean, there's a lot of consumers that will shop primarily based on those kinds of things, or they won't buy from companies that aren't of a certain standard when it comes to sustainability.
Absolutely. Well, that's a good question. So you do this for a living. So what are some of the, if somebody's listening on to this radio show or whatever, this video show, what are some of the pointers that you can give to a company now, and in terms of reducing their waste?
Yeah. So some really simple tips would be, one, make sure you understand the cost of what you're paying, so you have a baseline to judge whether it's economically feasible, because you're going to want to take that to your boss, or if you are the boss, you're going to want to see that. I always tell companies to think from an eco-capitalist standpoint, because then it just, it goes along with every business's mission, which is to make sure you save as much money and make as much money and all those things. So simple steps would be, make sure that you color code and label all of the different containers in your facility. So a lot of times there's waste that's produced when it's not necessary because people are not clear on what goes in what container. So having very clear labels and separating those materials will really, really help you. Another good tip that you could do is to do something simple like start printing on both sides of paper if you are printing paper. That's another really easy tip. It saves you money and it saves the environment. Those would be two really good tips that you could try that are super easy, won't really cost you any money, and can actually start to save you some money and help you in your green marketing efforts as well.
Absolutely. Is there any sort of paper material that you would recommend over other? Like, is there paper out there that's better for the environment?
Sure. Yeah. So there's definitely paper that's better for the environment. And again, maybe the way I try to think about it is it's not the paper that's the problem. It's how it's disposed of. That's where the real issue comes in. So paper isn't harmful, but it needs to get recycled, because if it doesn't, it goes to a landfill. And landfills are really bad for a number of reasons, and they cost a lot of money.
Absolutely.
So,
well, great. These are really some amazing tips. Thanks so much. I think this is somebody, if you're watching this show, you can definitely go back into your business if you're the business owner, or recommend this to your management, because I think these are just amazing tips that you can make changes really quickly in your business. So awesome. Any other last minute points?
No, that was it. I wish everyone good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. Put any comments down below.
Yeah, and we'd love to hear from you. If you are a sustainable company, please put that in the comments and how you're helping the environment. Or if you want to become more sustainable, then please let us know as well, because we'd love to hear from our audiences.
Yeah, perfect.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you'll continue to get involved and join us as we help you find success in your entrepreneurial journey. Please follow, like, and share with others who will find this beneficial. We'll see you on the next episode of Marketing Success in Under 10 Minutes with Stephen and Jean.